Triforce, unfortunately, because he's going to be key blocked here. But we're definitely in level 12 or something like that, like Insane said.
Yeah, it's a level that we'll have to come back to with some sort of weapon, as Paratroopa is going to go up and check this other set of Armos, and not our Armos item, so we're down 2 Armos spots, 32 for our medium secret. Not great, but not horrible.
It's a couple bucks north of the average, which is good. I mean, you're going to need money here because you're only going to get 1 overworld secret. That's the other change when you switch over to second quest overworld. You only get 1 of those instead of 3 like they're used to. So money and your purchasing decisions are very, very tight. So it's going to be kind of key to see what they decide to spend their money on.
Oh, definitely, especially with potential blocks such as bait and arrows needed. Oh, now that's unpleasant. A 1 for the small secret.
That 1 is just terrible. There's just it's a waste of time to even walk in that room when it's $1.
Just make it a door repair. It's almost better.
Basically, just be a blank hint or something. That's just the worst. So yeah, Paratroopa and Slidick, what they're doing is they're both in the northeast. They're looking for the sword. Again, they're looking for a free Armos item here. Trying to get some info. Got a $67 candle. They're probably not going to be buying a candle if they can help it, because money just really isn't there to do that. But 67 and knowing where it is very helpful to start.
So one thing you might consider, though, with buying that candle is it does allow you to pick up the potion or an extra heart container in the Take Any caves, as hearts can be a low quantity resource in these flags, as Paratroopa takes a death there.
Yeah, anytime that you cut out the number of Triforces that you need to finish the game, usually what that means is that you're entering 9 with less resources than normal. If you have to go to all 8 levels and get all 8 Triforces, you're going to get a bunch of hearts and acquire defense and stuff. When you're down to 5, and you can get to 9 a little earlier, a lot of times you'll see people with no ring whatsoever. You'll see people on 8 or 9 hearts, that type of thing. So having that defense, like you said, is very important.
Yeah, now the blue ring is probably out of the question, but yeah, the heart container, the 60 rupees, and the silvers are our Armos item. That is a nice early find.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, they don't have the bow to use it right now, but 1, you get the knowledge of having the silvers, and 2, when you get that bow, now you've got 4 points of damage that you can do. So early Armos is always the right play. I like to see both of them prioritizing it here. I think it's a great move.
And we have a hint shop here as well. Again, we do need that book, but a little bit on the pricey side. But that could be key as well to find the bow or some other required information.
Yeah, I love that Fred turned the book into something that was very useful, and it's so useful that these helpful hints, I mean, they help so much if you get it early on. When you're not digging all the dungeons because it's only 5 Triforces, if you find out like 5 has an important item, it's got the bow or the ladder or something like that, you're just so far ahead of the game in the knowledge level that having that book, an early book at that, is so helpful to you now.
And speaking of features that Fred added, and when we see the Elite 8 flags, the book turns into an atlas, and with the mixed quest dungeons, that can be useful to figure out what you're dealing with quickly.
Yeah, especially like we talked about, and we'll talk about it more when we get to the Elite 8 and those flags, but being able to identify levels early, even here, when they know it's first quest, but being able to identify the levels early is so important. Because it saves you time, it saves you bombs, you're not bombing walls that don't exist, that type of thing. Unfortunately, Slick going to take a death here without being able to check this cave, but Paratroopa did for us, so we know it's nothing.
And the keys are about 81 rupees. It's not a horrible price. We're probably not going to see our runners buy any early, but we've seen plenty of races come down to keys.
Yeah, we sure have, and the fact that you pick up the silvers early means you don't have to make an arrow purchase. So buying a key sometimes, or once they get the money, going up and buying that candle now makes a whole lot of sense.
We have another level here on the coast, and our coast item is the book.
All right, so you'll see these guys as soon as they find that ladder, jet back and get that, because even the old guys inside the levels are going to give you a lot of hints that if you don't want to go buy them, you don't have the money to go buy the hints, you're going to get a lot of hints inside the levels, and they're going to point you in the right direction at level 9. So it's very, very valuable to have that book.
Get an early heart container, but looks like we're going to be key blocked out of this dungeon.
Yeah, like you said, the early key blocks and the early need for keys right now is kind of something that hopefully it's perked their ears up a little bit, and if they get some money, maybe they'll go make that first key purchase just to kind of break them into the seed. But I don't think they'll buy anything until they get the sword and see what they can dig out of the level.
Yeah, definitely. And we still have that white sword item at large, so we don't even know where or what that is.
Yeah, it'd be so nice if that was like a wand or any key itself. That would be fantastic.
That would be wonderful. Yeah, just any form of combat would help at this point.
Chat, let's get some predictions. What do you guys think the white sword is going to be tonight? The winner, Nora's going to buy a steak dinner for.
Wait.
I mean, that was in the contract. You read the contract before you came on, right?
I need to get my lawyer. OPT, where are you?
Yeah, OPT, come out here. It's such a feel-bad moment when you're walking by all these burn bushes and you don't have that candle yet, because you know you're going to have to come back by these places.
Oh, and there's our wood sword. But, so in that case, as you're saying, and yeah, chat, do your thing, yeah.
The bow, I like it. Let's get the bow since you've got the silvers as the armos.
So, how do you go about routing that overworld when you know you're going to have to come back and burn spots? Are you as thorough, or do you kind of go, I'm going to have to come back here anyway, so I want to go to this area where I don't need those resources?
If I don't have anything, like they're in a situation where they had no bombs and no candle, I'm just beelining for any open cave. Like, I don't worry about the routing right away, because if I try to get cute and try to route something in, a lot of times I'll either forget something or I'm inefficient anyway because I'm trying to get cute. Just beeline, get your sword. If you can pick up a candle out of a take any, then you can start rerouting yourself. But if you don't have any resources, find it at the closest dungeon you can, or the closest open cave you can.
Oh, well, we were kind of talking about that. Slidick has found a dungeon, but did you see the price of rupees that Paratroopa found? 3 rupees.
Bombs are $3. That's gonna be great for them, especially because he's up in Death Mountain looking for his sword. So being able to buy those and keep himself afloat, even if he's only getting $1 in the lows like this, is very, very nice.
I think it was 4, but still, regardless, they're cheap bombs.
Every dollar matters when you're only getting 1 out of a cave, sir.
Yeah, but you just got to find 4 small secrets and you have a bomb.
Tell you what, we found what, 4 or 5 levels already? I mean, we have no Triforces or anything, but they've got a lot of overworld knowledge right now between the two of them.
Oh, definitely. And that's one of the things we've seen these races come down to, is who knows what dungeons are where.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you have to play cleanup later and you know where the dungeons are, it's so much better than having to go back and try to find them. So haven't really paid attention here yet to see exactly what levels these guys are in. We don't have a map yet. We don't have anything like that. So if anybody knows, let us know what you've seen so far.
We have Patra being Patra here on Paratrooper side, just blocking the door. Our 3 keys over here for Slidick. So our key problem's kind of going away for now.
Yeah, 3 keys are hard. He's getting a lot of resources in here. Man, anytime I see those levels where you've got a bunch of blocks up at the top, it's like either 6 or it's going to be 5 or 4. I mean, like it's not a 1, 2, or 3 like you want to find right off the bat. So he's got some work ahead of him in this level, Slidick does.
Yeah, right now having the sword is definitely tilting this race slightly in Sliddick's advantage right now. Very quick thing could change. Paratrooper walks into a wand or a white sword, and that advantage goes away very quickly.
Yeah, Paratrooper looks to be in level 2, just based on where that compass sent him back to. Unfortunately, he's going to see the old man. Yeah, that's definitely the moon shape. So I think he's going to full clear this too, but this is a great level because he's going to get a Triforce out of this. It's going to have an item for him. So I want to see, I'm very curious what is in that level 2. And if he could not bomb into that way, that is probably Zelda's room just to his right. Yeah, so with the levels 1, 2, 3, and I believe 4 potentially, if there's supposed to be a bomb wall if there's a wall there in an adjacent room, you're going to be able to bomb through it for the most part, unless you hit a couple of things. Zelda's room, the sideways staircase, or an old man. Yeah, exactly. And that wall right there being solid, the only room that can be in the entire game in level 2 is got to be Zelda's room. It's the only one that has a block on the left side like that. So Paratroopa now still looking for that sword. Slidick found it again at vanilla start, so Paratroopa is quite a ways away from it. Does have some more level knowledge than Slidick does, but Slidick's going to catch up on that quite a bit, being able to navigate with the sword, where Paratroopa's having to be ginger with what he's got right now.
We're getting some mini roads here, so let's see what we have. 2 to the Dead Woods. Really, sort of 3.
Ugly screen. Well, that's kind of good because, I mean, just in case you get bubbled or something, it's very close to a ferry for you.
Well, that's interesting. I do believe that was our start screen.
Yeah, it's starting. Every time you start, I believe you're going to be on that left side and you have to go around. That's so annoying right there. The other vertical forest one. Okay, so he's not going to have to. The other vertical forest one does the same thing. If you get let out, you get let out on the other side of the trees, and it's just, you got to go walk around. It's annoying.
So not bad in the fact that it gets you quick access back to the left side of Hyrule, but pretty useless overworlds or any roads after that.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see him if they have to up A through a level or if they need to save or something like that. You'll be able to see him, take a few screens off their walk from wherever they're going to go. They're not, like you said, tremendously useful, but having one right at start is so helpful.
And not having to cross the bridge and deal with a bunch of Lionels in your path. It's not horrible, but at the same time, yeah, you'd like one on Death Mountain.
Absolutely. Paratroopa, does he have a candle yet?
I don't believe so, but I believe that's our first take any that we've seen here at almost 12 and a half minutes.
Yeah, first take any is going to be up in the northwest. You needed a bomb to get to it, so the game's being unfair to start. There's got to be one. You usually have access to a candle somewhere in the open overworld.
Well, it's possible that candle shop is our access without bombs.
Yeah, that might be it. It might be just the candle shop. Hopefully these guys have something else other than a bomb one. Paratroopa didn't just pass it up. And the other thing could be, I mean, there's a candle for 67. Oh my god. He's probably thinking I'm just going to buy it. And I want these hearts in case I come across the white sword item up here. Because if you find the white sword item up here and you can't grab it right now, you have to reroute yourself all the way back up here and it takes forever. So that might be what he's thinking.
Yeah, surprised to not see him fight. Oh, he try to at least bomb. He's only got 2 bombs, but no real weapons. He does find another dungeon.
And again, another one of these to where you're coming in from the top here. So we'll see what this level is.
Yeah, Paratroopa is an immediate ladder block.
And this feels like 5 to me right here. Nope, it can't be 5. That could be 8. I think he just found 8.
Yeah, that looked very 8-like. But yeah, right now, Paratroopa's biggest problem is that he is up in Death Mountain with 1 bomb and no weaponry whatsoever.
Yeah, that's an issue. I mean, hopefully this is going to route him and say, okay, let's go down to the south, the southwest, see what's down there. But he did get some info. He knows there's levels up here. He knows there's candles, stuff like that. He knows what's up on Death Mountain now. Now he really needs to prioritize this sword. He's got to make some hay here.
Now he's gonna get some more bombs here. Might as well refill, but not really using them for weapons to even when he had the opportunity to potentially get some rupees out of some moblins, to buy that candle that would have helped out.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately for Paratroopa, he's going to be taking the longest way possible to get to the sword because I think he's going to go through the grave south and then go check like Vanilla 3 and that type of thing from the west. So he's going to end up at Vanilla Start as like his last locations to check. So might take him a while. And those gorillas or the moblins are more than 4. So he's not able to force bombs or anything here either.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So Slidick now going to get some info up here in Death Mountain as well. I believe he's going straight up north, which is kind of bad because he's not going to be able to get any bombs, $3 bombs that were down a little southwest of this. But he's looking in this open cave to see what's up here.
And Paratroopa's made his way to the grave now. And you'll notice the grave spot has changed slightly from vanilla. And here's our second ticket. And he's going to go ahead and pick up that candle now.
Yeah, that's a good pickup now. So he's going to go ahead and burn this, see what it is. I mean, he can, if he wants to, go ahead and scroll into it. He's just going to take the long route around. But now he's going to get some more info in the overworld and find out what's up in the forest now that we have our candle.
Hey, do you see what is 1 HP, though?
Those blue octos are 1 HP, which is great.
That is delicious for bomb farming.
Yeah, they're so close to start. You've got 2 screens of the 2, so your globals of 1, 6, and 8 are easily met because you're going to come across 8 of them every time you up A. So finding bombs should not be a problem for these guys. Between $3 bombs that you can buy and those octos, it's great.
Yeah, so now the question becomes, what do our runners decide to do? Slidick is diving back into that first dungeon that we found. This paratrooper's still looking for a sword. Hopefully he'll head over towards start soon and pick that up. But Slidick has an opportunity to Triforce here.
Yeah, it makes sense. He was 1 room away. He was key blocked from it. So let's go get the Triforce, find out what level it is. Maybe I can find a quick item. So if you took good notes and knew that he was just 1 room away with 1 key, this is just an easy Triforce for him to grab.
There we are, almost 17 minutes in with our first Triforce pickup as Paratrooper's going to go ahead and that is just run.
Yeah, you know what's cool about that? Even though he didn't get the item out of 7, getting the Triforce there means every other level that you come across is going to be that much easier to get the Triforce. There's less rooms per level now for him. You just got to hope an item's not in there that you really need. But getting the Triforce out of 7 is so cool.
And the nice thing is if you do find the recorder, getting back to 7 is relatively easy, even though it is pretty close to start.
Yeah, he's beelining here for these levels. He's just trying to make progress wherever he can, and I like it. I like the decision to okay, I've done enough of the overworld. Let's get inside and see what I can do now with the sword.
At this point, I believe Slidick has found 3 levels. Paratrooper has actually found 5 levels, so he has the knowledge to potentially beat the game. We still don't know where 9 is, but with that knowledge, we kind of can start working on finding 9.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that did we miss the heart being the white sword item? I think Chad's
I
saying
think we did.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so we got the heart as the white sword item. Overworld stuff is done. We just have no knowledge of anything inside of levels right now.
I mean, if the heart's the white sword item, does it really count?
The tree falls in the forest type of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about it.
That is unfortunate there. The compass is just hanging out there in the remote room.
This could be a very easy item right here, though, for Slidick. This would be very nice.
Oh, but on the coast, Paratrooper has found a cheap hint shop.
Now that might be something that he wants to earmark and say, okay, let's go ahead and do this. It's very close to where you start. And Bomb's very close too, so this is going to be probably very, very good for Paratroopa to remember going forward.
Oh, definitely. And with the money what it is right now, you get the book and you can do save and retry to get your money back from buying those cheap pins.
Absolutely, it's a great strat for sure.
Well, here's the Triforce here. That's not bad.
He was open that door, did not shut behind him. He saw the water, and he's like, "Please no."
Definitely. So this one will.
Yeah, probably right.
Oh, but it is a lovely 3-headed Gleeok that he gets for his reward.
There's our red bubbles we talked about. So those are the nasty additions from Second Quest. There's a lot of enemies and stuff that are terrible too, but that's the nastiness that you don't want to see coming into this. It's pretty new. You're gonna take your sword away until you find another blue bubble, use a potion, find a fairy, that type of thing.
Yeah, so Paratrooper is in the correct area for his sword, taking the long way via the warp roads. He'll be getting his sword here just momentarily. So we'll be back on equal footing for the most part.
Yeah, and like that's saying, a 20-minute sword is just brutal. I mean, you already feel like you're behind when you get it at 20 minutes. Even though you have a lot of your overworld mapped and you know how you want to attack it, just the feeling of, man, I'm 20 minutes in, I just got my sword. How quick did my opponent find that? That's what's going through his mind right now.
Especially in the location that it is. That vanilla start sword, with where they started, your opponent probably went there right away.
It's always worst case scenario in your head. My opponent probably did this right away. Yeah, exactly like you're saying. Slidick found the Triforce in 6 and knows it's in 6. Has done a lot of it. The only thing he hasn't done is really the body and the tail, which is just a very vertical shoot down this left side. and then it's going to kind of curl around. So he doesn't have many rooms, and they're all going to be very linear. What's really important for Slidick right now is to find out if he's going to be like a ladder block, because it's very easy to have a ladder block or an arrow block, a Goma block, or something like that in 6 because of how vertical and linear this is. So I like he's checking the top rooms early, but let's see what 6
Paratrooper is in what appears to be 1, and that is the bow on the ground there.
Yeah, that's pretty helpful.
Just a little bit, especially with silvers, because now he has a much better weapon if needed, but low rupee resources.
So let's hope this isn't the transport for Slidick here.
Oh, but it is. So Paratrooper will be looking for a staircase now to get into for that second item in here in 1.
So 1 being directly west of where they picked up the sword. I wonder how long it's going to take Slidick to get back to that area.
Yeah, Slidick didn't have bombs when he was down there, so he went into the candle shop right above it. That's a dungeon, but was unable to bomb in here. And Uncle Wizzy is not being nice in this one right now.
These enemies are definitely not playing nice. I mean, you get into some places and you're like, all right, great, we got a bow, we got an early Triforce, that type of thing. But then the level itself just kicks your butt. So you do see Slidick down in that tail. He's only got 1 room north of him that he has to do to clear out the bottom of this. And most likely it's going to be through all of these high damage, high rolled pancakes that he's got to get through right now.
Speaking of high rolled, our wonderful red model or red Gorillas in here look like they rolled 5 HP, so not super high, but still more than you're expecting.
Yeah, and those guys are annoying because they throw boomerangs every once in a while at you while you're hitting them, and so you're taking damage as you're trying to take them out, and you're like, please just die. You're not moving anywhere, just die.
And we forgot to mention, when we're talking about second quest enemies, yeah, Stealthos shoot beams now, so they're just as bad as Lionels. But our second item in 1 is the Croissant Power Bracelet. So
hey, that's huge right there, because we talked about it. There's a few more spots in the overworld, and we haven't found 9 yet. So anything that's going to open up more locations when you got the bow and silvers is a very welcome sight.
And that is an unfortunate toll room. I believe 1 max bomber, 3 keys. The item on the left, you'll always be able to pay. The item on the right, you may not be able to. But with it being where it is, we're just going to pay and not pay the price.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly right.
And Paratrooper getting a nice clock here with these Wizrobes in the room and gets his Triforce. So cleaned up 1 really nicely.
Yeah, so after picking up your sword at 20 minutes, if you're able to pick up the bow like this, now you've got a Triforce under your belt. You're looking at your clock, it's 23. You're like, okay, I know where a lot of levels are right now. Let's hope there's not a lot of blocks and I can find 9. Paratrooper's feeling a lot better about himself than he was just 5 minutes ago.
Oh, definitely. As Slidick here has found his item here in 6. And, well, yeah.
I mean, all that work, and you're going to grab it. It's out of principle right now because you cleared every room in 6 looking for that thing.
Yeah, at that point, you're grabbing it just because I'm here. I've spent the time. Give it to me. I'm out.
I mean, you're cursing as you're walking down every single stair of that on the way, but you're still picking it up.
I feel that's how the red candle ends up a lot of the time as well. As Paratrooper takes a bop from a red bubble. There's a blue bubble in here to get his sword back, but we'll keep proceeding through this dungeon.
And something small, the difference between the two of them is you watch them in dungeons. Paratroopa got that bow way faster than Slidick's going to get it. And so he's going to be able to clear out, because of the silvers, these rooms so much faster. So he's going to pick up, a couple minutes per level on Slidick. As long as he routes things right, he finds the staircase like he did before here, on time, those types of things, doesn't take crazy routes. He's going to probably clear out levels a couple minutes faster just because of the offensive upgrade he has.
Oh, definitely. And things that you wouldn't necessarily consider, like one-shotting bunnies and the any key in 4. Oh, that is a prize right now.
Yeah, this is really rolling Paratroopa's way very quickly here. Slidick's going to have to find something that's going to make this like a ladder or something, or a red ring, because this is getting away from him. Paratroopa's finding the correct items in the right order right now, and everything's coming up Paratroopa.
Oh, definitely. It's really starting to look like you said, the recorder, the ladder, something silly to block Paratrooper's path for a little bit, or he gets into 9 and realizes, oh, I need the recorder to get the ladder type moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Just because now Paratroopa can go in every single room in any dungeon except for ladder block rooms. I mean, he could be, recorder block, that type of thing, but his exploration is just going to be, he doesn't care anymore. He can just keep going and try to find Triforces. He's going to make the game block him, and he's not going to be self-blocked by ladder or by keys and stuff like that.
Also, Slidick now picking up his candle at almost, 26 minutes in here. So really interesting decisions here on when to pick up the candle and when to start kind of changing your tactics.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you think about it, we saw so many levels in the overworld that they were able to attack those. And now what I think is going to happen is Slidick's going to be routed because he's going to, under the Armos, he's going to find these bombs that he's going to be able to purchase, and he's going to say, okay, let me do Death Mountain right now, whatever I haven't done of it. And it's going to route him further from the bow for longer. So I don't think Slidick's going to find this bow for probably the next 10, 15 minutes of this race.
No, definitely. And just, we are missing only 3 dungeons right now. So we are missing, looks like 3, 5, and 9, but we have 1 dungeon unknown still.
Yeah, I'd like to see Paratroopa go back into 2. I know he was in 2 a while ago, and I'm not sure what blocked him. I think maybe it was keys. If he routes himself that way, I'd like to see him go back towards 2.
So I guess we're also technically missing 8, but we know where 1 dungeon is.
Yeah, I think we found 8. 8 was the one that we entered from the north. I think it was up here in Death Mountain, in the northwest of Death Mountain. I do think we found 8.
Yeah, so then if that ends up being 8, that's going to be we're starting to get into that territory though where the recorder is going to come into play. Recorder, raft, power bracelet, something's hiding under there.
Yeah, and in the back of the runners' minds right now, they're sitting there thinking, okay, I can't find 9. Like, something is blocking me in 9, so I need to get any item I can out of any dungeon that I'm close to help me find 9, because it's not being made available by the game right now. So I've got to do something to find 9. They just have to make some progress.
And Paratroopa making the decision to go ahead and pick up the potion here. Not a bad choice with his heart count. As we find magical sword, that's probably not going to be useful.
Yeah, at 7 hearts, it's probably too early to check that thing. Just a little bit.
But having that potion on hand lets him take a red bubble room with a little bit less caution, deal with those wonderful blue and red wizards that we've seen with just a little more abandon.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I love this by Paratroopa. He's saying, okay, found another level. Let's go back into that level. Let's see what I can get out of it. I hadn't found 9. Something is blocking 9.
Yeah, so he is back in 7. This was a fairly free and quick try for us. We did not see the item out of here, but we probably won't. Unless it's something needed.
Exactly, right? Don't think we're finding the one. It's probably in the foot, like they're down in the neck of the lizard of 7. It's very bottomless.
Now watch it turn out to be the ladder, the recorder.
Oh god, don't do that.
Red ring in 2.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I wanted to see him go back into 2. I mean, 2 is so free as far as an item that even when you're in quote-unquote go mode, because Paratroopa is technically, until he's ladder blocked through something, he's in go mode. He's in no motor, I guess. But yeah, you go back to 2, see what the item is. Could be anything for him, red ring, something like that. And this time it's going to be the red ring.
And so Paratroopa's got his second Triforce now at 30 minutes. So we're defense Slidick, offense Paratroopa.
If you get your choice, Nora, the start of a match, defense or offense, you could upgrade one or the other. Which one are you taking?
Give me the red ring.
Yeah, same here. Absolutely. Red ring all day.
I know from my practice stuff that I've been doing, overworld deaths are brutal, and not knowing how to effectively screen scroll, having that red ring lets me take just so many more hits to get through stuff where there's 8 Lionels blocking the bridge.
Yeah, like, think about it. I mean, if you got those Lionels blocking the bridge, and you haven't got your sword yet, and let's say it's up on top of Death Mountain up there, and you're just staring at blue Lionels, you want that red ring all day long. So what progress can we make now for Paratroopa? I mean, what do we see on his map that he has?
Well, we have a new dungeon here that we have not seen.
Okay, this could be very good for him.
So this is right above the Armos item that we found earlier.
Gosh, he's finding all these compasses very quickly. This looks like it could be, what, 3? Nope, 5.
No, yeah. But with that potential ladder block, I don't get much more exploration there.
Yeah, that's definitely 5. So he was going to have to find a ladder to get, or the stair to get him up, because it's up in the top western corner of the level. So it's definitely 5 though.
So I believe we're just missing 3 and 9 now.
I think you're right though. 9's going to be like recorder blocked or something, and we're going to have to dig something.
Or if we're really lucky, the raft is recorder blocked, and they have to get that to get the 9.
I had a seat earlier where 9 was across the water here, and I had to find a ladder that in a non-required dungeon to get it, which was annoying.
Yeah, so and a lot of our runners are not used to second quest overworld, so these 2 bomb spots here along the coast are very easy to forget.
Yeah, they're not intuitive because there's really no visual. There's 2 visuals I like to use. Right above him, do you see where it says a life right there? Between the L and the I, if you look straight down, that's exactly the pixel that you want to bomb. That's what I always use for that one screen. And the other one, if you look at the gray box, the southeast corner of the gray box, if you go straight down from that, those are the 2 that I use. Otherwise, you're like bombing blind. But if you give yourself some visuals, you can find those bomb spots every time.
All right, so Paratrooper is now back in 2 with the sword this time, so he will clear out these 3 keys that he couldn't earlier and be instantly rewarded with that red ring.
It's such a feel good that you don't have to go back through the entire level to find that too, because he would have without the ladder, without the recorder, and he hadn't found 9. He would have dug this entire level. It's so nice for him that it was just 1 roam room away.
And there's no reason not to. And then usually it turns out to be the blue boomerang or something horrible.
Yeah, when we're playing, right?
So yeah, this is a very quick 2. As Paratrooper's now up to 3 Triforces, and so is Slidick, and we're back in another dungeon on Sliddick's side. I believe this one was our 8.
Yeah, I think so. Is he up in the northwest when he came in?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the 8 that's ladder blocked.
So if you're coming in and joining us in the middle here, I mean, the only real difference you need to know is that Paratroopa found 1 just west of where the wood sword was, the starting vanilla location. That's where level 1 is. That had our bow and the croissant that you see there. Everything else is pretty much the same. They both got 3 Triforces. Neither one has found 9 yet. So the Paratroopa has a definite advantage, but it's not huge. It's not much. Definitely not something Slidick can't come back from.
Well, he has the letter now, so if Slidick wants to buy a potion, he's gonna have to make another trip up to Death Mountain.
Do you think Slidick's identified this enough to say, I'm comfortable bombing south? Or he is. That was a nice bomb. That was a very well placed, a good identification of the level to say, I probably have to go down here. And oh my God, he's run into another one.
And with everyone's favorite enemy, Manhandle.
Yeah, that was just brutal. I mean, he's going to need some bombs to get back through there. He can make some more progress. If he could bomb west out of the other room, that would have been nice for him. He's close to a bomb shop too.
Yeah, as much as 8 is a good dungeon to dig, at this point, seeing the ladder blocks, yes, there is a possibility ladder is still in there, but I don't mind ducking out of that dungeon and saying we'll come back.
Yeah, I mean, there's places for him to go. He hasn't found 1 in his mind, so it's a good call by you to say, hey, I'm either going to buy these bombs and go right back there, or I'm going to go looking for level 1 and 9. Let's see what he does. Paratroopa also going back that way, too.
Yeah, I think Paratroopa's going to finish off Death Mountain with the power bracelets checks and any bomb spots he may have missed on the way through. Without the recorder, that'll leave just 1 potential spot up here on Death Mountain for him to go into as we're back in 8 here.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, exactly. It's our next thing to chat. Ladder could very well be not required. It could be. You're exactly right. What if this is the Triforce room? I was going to say pops that guy and is the Triforce for him. Do you stay and dig or do you just jet?
There's 2 items in here. You dig a little bit. Paratrooper hasn't seen the second ladder block with Manhandle yet, so you definitely stick your nose in a while.
Yeah, I agree with you. Unfortunately, he's going to see this ladder block right here. He's going to have to come back through that room and bomb left, but he knows he doesn't have to clear it anymore.
And here's a potential either transport or item here. Just can't take any beams to the face.
And the lag in here is just killing him.
I find the lag to actually be useful sometimes when dodging. It slows it down, kind of gives you that bullet time effect where you can kind of maneuver as we get confirmation
while you're like dodging out of the way, right?
That is our transport staircase, so we're going to back out of that and keep looking.
Yeah, definitely. So he's got 4 staircases in here, 2 are items, 2 are transports. Hopefully he finds the correct one now.
The only thing I don't like as far as either runners, I like to go ahead and resolve my staircases in these dungeons because it's just one less room. If I come in and there's dark nuts or whiz robes in a potential staircase room, I don't have to clear that room.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like to know what's on the back half of it too. Just exactly like you said. Like, let's say there's not a shutter door there, and we're in second quest. This room right here, you're going to spend a lot of time when you could know this is the back half of that stair. So, I think you're spot on with that analysis. That's heads up.
But the Triforce is behind that door. Apparently, is Paratroopers now got 4 Triforces.
Think he goes?
It's 8. I would go back in.
Yeah, he's going back in for sure. 8 is unique because there's not a lot of rooms. I mean, there's a good chunk of them, but they're pretty connected. You've got the stair that you're not usually going to get blocked in 8 that much, except for maybe the foot of it. But it was designed in vanilla to be hard, not big. If 7 was supposed to be big, 8 was just supposed to be very hard with dark nuts. So when you get into it in rando, and all of a sudden you've got a lot easier enemy set in there, then 8 doesn't become that big of a chore. So I like the redig.
Oh, definitely. And I like to see, I was hoping Slidick would take that staircase and just resolve it out, because that may give him the direction to get to the 2 items that we have in here.
It's kind of funny. They're both just taking the same path through. Like the natural flow of the dungeon is exactly what they're both doing at the same time, and it's funny to watch.
Well, there's a potential ladder issue here. That could cut us off from the bottom 5 or 6 rooms.
The only thing I'm thinking is if neither one of them took that stair, maybe taking it will get them through that or around that.
That's definitely where I'm thinking, but
yeah, we'll see. I know they can't go south because you're going to have that Chevy room, so they got to go west here.
And that Chevy room is going to be blocking off just that one room. So Paratroopa has decided I'm done.
Yeah, I don't mind it on Paratroopa's side. I mean, you might not need the ladder. Let's go back to 5 maybe. I don't know if 5 was ladder blocked for him or not, or 4, because I think he found 4 before he had a sword. But one of those 2 levels there could easily net him a Triforce and get him into 9.
Yeah, the other problem though is we still don't know where 9 is, and we're starting to run into that spot where the recorder and the raft are going to start having more and more potential value.
Yeah, this is the wall I'm curious about for Slidick. If this wall bombs, he can get past both of those. Oh, unfortunately, it can't. So, yeah, he's got to take that stairway.
Yeah, I think not taking... Well, he's not going to take the stairway either. He's done with 9 with 8 as well.
Done.
I'm very surprised neither of our runners took that staircase. I would like to have seen them at least go down the staircase before they checked out.
Yeah, same here. I'm kind of shocked, and maybe they saw something that we missed, but because they both made the same decision. But I think neither one took it to find out where it went. And I'll say this again, it's easy to sit here and try to reason what's going on. If you're in that runner's seat, you've got the controller in your hand and you see your clock ticking up, you make decisions like this that to somebody just watching, it doesn't make sense. But they're sitting there thinking, okay, I'm at 40 minutes, I got 4 Triforces, haven't found a ladder, haven't found 9, my opponent's probably in 9 right now. Like, you got so many things going on in your head that I understand every single decision. I'll never second guess anything.
Well, and in Slidick's case, even more so, that bow is looming very large right now at 4 Triforces. He gets the Triforce out of here. Does he find one? Does he go into one once he finds it? Or does he keep searching for 9?
I think luckily for Slidick, they haven't found 9. Because if they knew where 9 was, he'd go right to it. But I think in his exploration for 9, he's going to come across 1. And he's going to find the power bracelet. He's going to find the bow. And it's going to catch him up a little bit in that department. I think it's a fortunate thing he's not found 9.
Yeah, I do believe he is in 4 here, which is 1 screen above 1. So that will make that decision a little easier because he'll most likely find 1 here shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of a good thing. It's a blessing in disguise sometimes when you don't find a level.
The most interesting part about all of this, as Paratroopers found his Triforce here, I believe this was 6 he went to?
Yeah, I think this was 6 because Slidick did a lot of this, and we know where that Triforce was. So in 6, we know it's the boomerang in 6. So if he doesn't, he's looking right now to try to find a ladder. That's what he's doing, chat. But if he doesn't find anything in the next couple rooms, he's going to go right back to that Triforce and try to find 9.
Yeah, so all of the variants that we've had, we had the 20-minute sword pickup on Paratrooper. We're still missing the bow on Slidick's side. Both of our runners could have 5 Triforces, the bow and the silvers, and looking for 9 at approximately the same time still. And I think with that ladder block, our Paratrooper's going to pick up that Triforce.
Yeah, so it's going to be kind of interesting. If he looks for another level, then we know every spot on his map has been checked, except for the recorder spots and the 2 raft spots. But he's going back in. So I think Paratroopa has done enough overworld exploration that he knows he's blocked. Otherwise, there's no way he'd be digging to 6 right now.
Agreed. So now the real question is going to be is does Slidick find 1 and pull the power bracelet, which has turned out to be useless so far, and the bow out, and where is the recorder or raft hiding that we may need to get to 9?
My opinion, I think recorder and raft are both an 8. And then
that would be
you're
appropriate.
Have ladder in 9 or something, and they bailed on 8, and it's going to be the first one to go back to 8, I think, wins this match.
Or it could be something silly like raft to get to 9 to get the ladder to go back, or not to have the ladder be the second item in 8, where you need to go into 9 to get the recorder or something to kill a Dig Dogger.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, something like that.
Not likely at this point, but still, those things start running through your mind at this point of where's 9? What do I need to get there? As Slidick, I believe this. Did he go back into 4 here?
Is this 1?
This might be 1.
I forget the color of 1.
Paratrooper's in 6 right now.
Yeah, so you got Slidick over in 1. He's going to find his bow and power bracelet here, and then Paratroop is in 6. 6, unfortunately, just has the banana, so there's nothing of value here, but I can completely understand why he's digging this right now.
Now, the advantage is still going to lay in Paratrooper's side for the fact that he has already checked, I believe, almost all of the power bracelet spots, where Slidick has not. So once he picks that power bracelet up, he is going to have to venture out and find those spots still.
Yeah, he's got a lot more overworld to clean up than Paratroopa does, so I believe Paratroopa will probably go back to 8 first. And I hope he's doing it right now, otherwise he's going to dig 7 right here.
And you should never dig 7.
This is not in 7, guys. The bloomerang's in 7, they just don't know it yet. So this is good for Slidick in his mind. He's got all his Triforces done after he gets this 1 in 1. He's going to get the power bracelet, not in this room. Get out of this room. Don't even do it.
Just that many Wizards, just no.
I mean, with Red Ring, he's like, I got it. Those are some very, very good bombs by Slidick. He grouped them together, kind of held his ground there. That was a very good room clear in a pretty stressful situation, so that was very well done by Slidick. All right, so he is still looking for that other item. He's not found the staircase, and he's not got his Triforce either. So he does find the compass here, which is nice. Looking for that staircase to hopefully find us and get out quickly. He's now one room away. It's going to be a very quick ending to 1, and we're going to be tied here, guys.
Paratrooper's in 5, though, so he's taking a look around here. See if he can get the item out of here.
I like it. We don't know what's in 5, do we?
No, we do not. But apparently there's some dark nuts. But yeah, Red Ring, you just run through that room.
You just have to not forget to get your sword back at some point in the game.
Oh, the game just hands you a free blue bubble there.
Hey, he might check this northern part, grab the Triforce, get his sword back. Oh, he can't because it's ladder blocked, of course.
Now, he might go back in that room and try to respawn it, or he can go in from that side, probably.
Oh, there's a blue if he doesn't have it. He hasn't checked it in a while. I don't know if he knows.
He hit the blue on his way in.
Oh, did he? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so he can get around to the Triforce here and just go down to check the item. As Slidick gets his Triforce out of 1, so both of our runners at 5 Triforces, but they don't know where 9 is.
This is living up to it. I mean, both these runners, I mean, they're very comparable skill-wise, and they're very good at the randomizer. So they're reading the seed right. They're just kind of, unfortunately, short a level 9. That's it. I mean, both of them otherwise are in the same exact spot, and we figured we'd be here with both these guys. They're very, very good at this.
With the way this 5 is treating Paratrooper, I would not be surprised to see the ladder in here.
Yeah, there's got to be something here. I mean, he's going to full clear this puppy right now.
Now, the other interesting thing is Slidick does not have as much overworld knowledge as Paratrooper. Paratrooper knows where everything but level 3 and level 9 are. Where Slidick has not found level 5. No, he found level 2, so he does not know where level 5 is. So if this turns out to be something valuable, it could definitely swing this in Paratrooper's favor immensely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is a level that's going to be a difference for the two of them. Slidick right now is just looking for 9. That's all that's on his mind right now. So even if he finds 5, not even sure if he digs it. I mean, he's looking for 9, and he's got so many power bracelet spots to check right now that this would not be a priority for him.
Right. Yeah, depending on his routing, if I were Slidick, I would route up to Death Mountain, checking all the power bracelets, so that 8 is where I end up, because I know where 8 is.
Yeah, absolutely. Paratrooper's only got a few rooms in here, so I'm very curious to see what's in this 5.
Yeah, I mean, even something, well, I guess the ladder would be useful in the fact that you might be able to get a hint, but here we are. Well, there's a potential staircase in there. Did he come through that as a transport?
Yeah, that took him up to the top, so there's only like a few more rooms up here. This has got to be this has got to be it right here.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, this is getting interesting right now. We have us a hot dog package, and let's see if these hot dogs give us the ladder.
So the question is 3 on the raft spot as well? Because we're still missing 3.
Yeah, 3 could be on the raft spot. It could lead you to 9. I'm still banking that whatever we needed was back in 8.
Oh, I without a doubt. We're getting... Yeah, 8's going to be the play here, but it would be hilarious to see a Troll 3, and yeah, there's Slidick finding the White Sword Cave with the heart.
I'm like on pins and needles right now to find out what's in these 2 raft spots.
Well, it's some bombs. So Paratrooper's going to save here so he can get back to the other raft spot fairly quickly. Slidick is down on the coast, finding his hint shop and the other bomb shop. He does know where 6 is. I believe he got the banana out of there, so he's not gonna bother with that.
These fetch quest things, man, you like it turns your stomach in knots because you're like, okay, I'm either taking 2 minutes of my time to find absolutely nothing, and my opponent's not doing that, or I needed to have this raft a half hour ago, my opponent had it, and he's already there.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling.
No, not at all. Not at 50 minutes. And it's neither. Oh my God, go back to 8. Please go to 8. Please go to 8.
So right now, 3 is recorder blocked. 3 and 9 have to be recorder blocked, which leaves 7 and 8 as our options to get the recorder.
Go to 8.
It could be ladder block too. We have not seen the two bomb spots because we don't have the ladder. So that is a potential play as well.
Go to 8.
I think you have to
go to 8.
There's no reason to dig 7 with 2 items sitting in 8 at this point.
And like 4 rooms to check. Like they have the entire northern part of 8 done. All they have to do is take that stair and find out what's down there. And here's the thing. Paratroopa is going to probably do this first, and he's going to feel like he has just lost this race if it either gives him the ladder or the recorder or something like that, where he doesn't know that he's ahead of Slidick right now.
No, definitely. So, the level 9, the pressure is going to start to mount the longer this goes. The other thing could be is, if you're thinking, and if you're in Slidick's position at this point, my opponent doesn't like level 7. I'm going to go dig it, and if it's what I need, I win. And if it's not what I need, oh well, it's over.
Yeah, you can totally metagame. Slidick's now in 5, I believe.
Yes, this is 5.
And this is just going to be a journey to nowhere. Thank God he's not going to do it. But here's the thing. Once he does all these power bracelet spots, I bet this is the first place he checks again.
I still like 8 is it's 2 items. Oh, I feel so bad as Paratrooper is back in. Hopefully we'll get to see where the transport staircase goes, because I think that's their only option left.
Worst case scenario, it takes you to the bottom bottom left foot, and you're river blocked again.
Well, then you go to 7. At that point. Immediately run.
Right.
Or the recorder. Something of value is sitting in 7 that you need.
I mean, best case scenario for them is they find the ladder and the recorder in here, because the 2 river ladder spots, they can't check yet. They could still be 9 as well.
Now, which order would you prefer? So let's say that is the case. It does take him right down to the room here. Obviously, if they find the ladder first, I think they're gonna have to look for the recorder, because we're pretty sure they're recorder blocked.
All right, this is one right here. Guaranteed, this is going to be an item.
It has to be.
Survey says
it's the boomerang.
Oh, come on!
Oh, this is.
Oh,
rude.
It's the other one. Don't make
candle?
us do 7. Do not make us go to 7.
It's got to be the red candle. We're gonna have to do 7 because you're here.
Because don't blame this on me. Leave me out of this, sir.
But we are going to have to do all of this 8 to get to that.
And the game says, no, go collect the 10 rupees off the ground before you go back. It's like the end of that movie 7. What's in the box? What's in the box?
And here's our second item here at 8.
Do not get sniped here, man. Do not get sniped. Okay.
It is our recorder. Oh, so now the question becomes, you're gonna go look for 9 if you're Paratroopa.
If you find
How
3,
nervous are you about not having the ladder? And yes, if you find 3, do you dig it?
Hell no, you don't dig it. You do every single recorder spot until you find 9. Guaranteed.
Until we find out that the 9 is ladder blocked.
And
it's the ladder spot.
Right.
So we're going to start off with what would be Vanilla 2 in first quest as Vanilla 3 in second quest?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And it's just $32.
Or to get technical, it's still 2 because you get to 2's Triforce by beating it, even though it says level 3 on it in Second Quest. But that's just because Second Quest is jacked up and only for people like me to play it.
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to say anything.
Right.
I still have trouble beating First Quest in an hour and a half.
Hey, this game is fun. That's all this rando has brought us, and everybody thank Fred. Fred's in chat right now. Thank Fred because his creation here has just given us so much enjoyment. This has just been great.
And this entire community is great. If you're not in the Zelda 1 Randomizer Discord, join it. It's a good time. We do all sorts of crazy flags. Like they were talking about in the last seed, you've got Saber and Adaginos who come up with flags that just make people want to cry. We've got the Battle Royale stuff going on, which are fun little 10-person tournaments that go on. Just all sorts of fun stuff to do with the randomizer.
Yeah, it's a really good time. Just play some video games with friends, have some fun, and laugh at each other. Okay, so what's going on the left side of your screen? What Slidick's been doing is what Paratroopa did after he did level 1. He did all those push blocks. Slidick's now finding out there's nothing but the letter for him in these push blocks. So unfortunately, we knew he was going to have to do this before. The decision comes down for Slidick is, what do I do after I've pushed my last block? Because it's going to lead him nowhere. But Paratroopa does find 9. And it was recorder blocked, and if they just would have gone to 8, they'd have been here.
Now, we're in 9. We're going to be looking for a couple of things, Redbird. We know Ganon doesn't soundproof his building, so we're going to be listening to his roar. We're also going to be looking for that shutter door that doesn't open. The other thing we might be looking for is potentially the ladder.
Yeah, it's very curious.
Some water.
Sorry, I apologize for cutting you off. It's very curious that Paratroopa is not taking any stairs right now because we know the ladder could be very beneficial to him. So I would take every stair I could. And again, I don't like to second guess anybody because I don't know what's in their head, but I would take every stair trying to find the 2 items in 9 because we know one of them could very well help him inside of this 9.
Definitely. And, really, there are no zonks left. The red candle's not a horrible thing, especially when you're dealing with red bubbles, wand, ladder. We're missing one more. What are we missing?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't keep track of all of them. I only keep track of the important stuff. All right, so Paratroopa is looking for a single shutter door here, like not a room like this. There's 3 shutters here. This is not Zelda, but a single shutter door that does not open will be Zelda. So that's what Paratroopa is looking for, in addition to listening for the beast. So he's trying to fly through this 9, trying to find it.
Definitely. And chat's reminding me the white sword's the other item we're missing. So yeah, everything that you could potentially find in this 9 right now would add value to your combat in 9.
Yeah, you get a wand, you get a white sword, something like that. I would push every block. I would look at every stair that I could right now.
And he's starting to do that now as he's run out of options. And the first is the wand.
Even that, I mean, we just saw a couple Patras there that wand would have shredded. So I like that he got it now. I wish he would have checked the stairs before. So we'll ask him, I mean, going into 9 at the end of this, what was in his mindset.
And Slidick, unfortunately, has gone into 5 to dig the item out of there. We're going to go on another wild goose chase here, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, we kind of knew what happened, though, right? I mean, as soon as he pushed all the blocks, we knew he'd go back to 5 because it was a new level for him. It's kind of new blood. I just had that feeling that was going to be his play. And fortunately, he's going to get a quick item right here. This is it. This is the item. So very, very much faster than Paratroopa's.
Definitely. Now, the question is, did he write down that 8 was blocked? And just completely forget about that transport.
Yeah, I mean, you would hate to see him check these 2 river spots and then go to 7, right? I mean, that's the last place that he could misroute is going to 7. But again, to him, if he thinks he's blocked in 8, 7 makes sense. So getting in the mind of the runner is the thing to do right now.
This 9 is infested with red bubbles. Having that letter and the potion, definitely a blessing here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. Again, like you said, he's just listening for Ganon. He knows he's one room away if he can find Ganon. What a straight walk by Paratroopa. That was great.
Yeah, and this is by no means over. All it takes is a ladder-blocked Ganon in a a horrible moat room or a double moat room, or Zelda behind a Chevy room. But we have Ganon here.
We have Ganon, and we have a single shutter door right here too. So even if it was double shutter, I mean, any shutter door can theoretically have her. But let's see this Ganon fight by Paratroopa.
He's going to go ahead and use his potion. It will take between 11 and 15 hits.
Yeah, Paratroopa is a very, very good Ganon fighter, so knows the stun lock, has the timing down. Lost him a little bit here, but you can tell he really is a student of this fight and knows how to do it. So I have full faith Paratroopa is going to take down Ganon here.
And with Red Ring, much easier fight. Only taking one heart of damage when Ganon hugs you.
Yeah, for sure. And this kind of southwest corner is kind of a safety corner, just because he doesn't really hug you much as long as the pattern's correct, and the pattern is a really good one right now for Paratroopa, so he should be pretty safe here. Just a couple more hits on him, and he's good to go.
Unfortunately for Slidick, he has made the decision to go into 7.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I mean, if he thinks truly that 8 was blocked and didn't realize
it's the right decision in the mind at that time, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with him on that one.
Oh, and the shutter door opens right after. Wow.
Get your GGs out in chat, guys. Paratroopa is going to finish in first place with a time of 1:02:07. GG's, Paratroopa.
What a finish. And Slidick will be getting the news here just shortly that his time with us is over. Now, he is allowed to finish the seed, and we'll continue along with him as he ventures into this 7. We'll be working to get Paratrooper in here for a quick chat about this incredible seed.
Yeah, for everything that seed threw at him, it was very, very nice in 9. Just to have them both kind of right there tucked away together.
Yeah, so while we're waiting to get Paratrooper up in here real quick, and I do see he's in the Discord, so he'll be joining us very shortly. Go over the schedule real quickly. Tomorrow we have Random Effect versus Antlers in another. This is an Elite 8 match, isn't it? I do believe so.
I think that is in the bonus bracket. Yeah,
it's in the bonus bracket. Okay, so we'll have another bracket flags elimination match at 11 p.m. tomorrow. Channel to be determined. My partner here, Redbird, and Adaginas will be on the call. But with that sound, we have Paratrooper in here.
Paratroopa, GG's, man.
GG. I thought that was a guaranteed loss, and so winning was kind of a nice surprise.
Yeah, there were several moments in that race where if we put ourselves in your mind and we're like, okay, when he collected this and when he collected that, you've got to be feeling you're so far behind.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of the timing of things.
Yeah, well,
Turns out you did luck out. The ladder is hanging out in 7.
Ah, okay. Didn't need it.
Slidick just picked it up. But yeah, had that come into play,
don't explore
that might
7.
have been a thing.
Yeah, I mean, if we had a moat Zelda or something like that, then that could have definitely come into play because Slidick's on your heels. I mean, basically what happened was the race, you found one first, so you had both way earlier than Slidick did.
No way! I found one first?
Oh, yeah.
So
I thought I found
routed
one so late. Holy cow! I'm really surprised.
You did. that was the difference. Slidick routed Vanilla start very early, but didn't have bombs.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
So he had a 20-minute, like a near 20-minute start on the wood sword with you.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I thought I lost, was because I just seeded the start area. I'm just gonna explore Death Mountain. I've got bombs, whatever. I'm gonna take a risk and hope it pays off, and it didn't seem to at the time, but I guess it did because it worked out. I don't know.
So the real advantage you had was you had routed, by the time you were both looking for 9, you had routed and discovered 5, along with all of the power bracelet spots. As Slidick is now checking the ladder spots and by the waterfall. He most likely has marked 8 as ladder blocked.
Yeah, so did you notice that I did the same thing?
Yeah, we were both questioning kind of the decision to not take the transport staircase.
I know, and I'm always the one who calls this out too, which is the really funny thing. I didn't take the stairs in 8 because I had a bunch of dead end rooms around it in 8, and I was like, don't want to take the staircase because then that leaves a bunch of orphaned rooms, which I don't like doing that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pass this up and do it later. And then once I got to the ladder block, I sort of forgot that I had a staircase that I could take. And this is why you take staircases if you see a ladder block, because you want to make sure that that's not really a ladder block. I didn't do that, and I left. And when I was like, during, I think either 6 or 7, I was going through it, and I'm like having this thought like, well, where could the items be? It can't be in 8 because it's ladder blocked. Oh no! And then I was like, well, I don't know when I go back there, so I guess I'll do 5 and 6 and hope that I don't need to go back to 8. And I did need to go back to 8, and I guess it didn't hurt me too bad.
Well, the funny thing was, you both made the exact same call in 8. I think you both thought it was ladder blocked, and both of you bounced. You both found 8.
Yeah.
You found it a little quicker, but like your
About the same
exploration 8
time.
was like identical. It was insane.
I'm kind of not surprised that happened, actually, because that's a really easy mistake to make, I think.
Yeah, I think Slidick's going that way. I think he's going to grab some bombs here. He's checking spots, and I think that he thinks he's completely locked out of 8 because he's headed that way. But he took a pause there once he crossed the river, and it was kind of his last overworld spot with the ladder. And I think that he feels he's locked like you did.
Well, he has the ladder now, so I'm wondering if he was just kind of pondering where this went wrong.
Gosh. What if he finds level 3? What if level 3 is behind the
We
ladder?
talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that.
It,
We were like,
wasn't.
Yes,
He already checked the 2 ladder spots.
Okay.
So 3 had to be recorder block at this point.
Okay.
If you want some good news, you didn't have to face one, but Manhandler rolled vanilla. But
Yeah, I saw
he
one.
has
I was
come
like,
to
nah.
a bomb block, and I believe he has forgotten the staircase as well.
let me ask you another question here, Paratroopa.
Yeah, sure.
So you realize the mistake in 8, right? And you're like, okay, let's go back and take that stair. Then you get to 9, and you start not taking stairs again. Like I was like,
Well-
what are you doing? Take the stairs, man.
I didn't think... So, in 9, I mean, there's maybe a chance that I need the ladder, but I don't need any other items. So, normally I'll leave the stairs in 9 if I don't think I need to take them, because it's quicker to just pass them by. On my map, I marked them as stairs, so I can come back to them later if I need them. If I think that I need to either warp to another place in the dungeon quickly, or I think I start needing an item like the ladder, which was out there somewhere, then I'll start taking the stairs, but otherwise I just pass them because it's a little bit quicker. And this is kind of a, like, should you not do that? I don't really know the answer still. I've been playing this for like 3 years and I have no idea.
And that's one of the
in
best
this
things
case, it
about
paid
this
off.
randomizer, though, is that the decision today could be an absolute different decision tomorrow.
Yeah, I really don't know what the right call is there. Like, because taking the stairs, that helps you. So taking the stairs in 9 helps you get a better picture of the fastest routes towards certain things, and it lets you know which parts of the dungeon are harder to get into compared to others. But it takes a little bit longer to take them in general, and it also gives you a much more piecemeal exploration of 9. So if you end up not finding Ganon or Zelda, then you have a bunch of orphaned rooms all over the place that you have to go back and check one by one, and that's why I kind of don't like taking stairs sometimes. So that's why I decided not to do it there, because then I could do a more thorough search in a more nice pattern, basically. And sometimes that doesn't pay off, and it's really hard to tell whether or not it will.
And Slidick discovering where the other end of that transport staircase went, and was quite unpleased with the Goma.
Yeah, he just put 2 and 2 together as soon as he found that second. And he's like, oh my god, I was not blocked this entire time. This could have taken me down here. But yeah, we didn't know, Paratroopa, if it was just kind of a philosophical thing. You usually never do that, like you don't take them if you don't need any items or whatnot. But we were thinking, well, you don't have ladder yet, and ladder could be required in 9. So if you take stairs there, even though no item is kind of required in your mind yet, the ladder could still help.
Yeah, that's the one thing that was like, maybe I should take the stairs just in case I find ladder, just in case I need it. And I ended up deciding not to. I don't know.
But you still knocked out the seed in 102. I mean, that's a phenomenal time.
That's crazy too, because I could have gotten it much faster if I found the recorder in 8 the first time I was there. So I really wanted to find both items there when I was there, because I knew that 9 could very easily be blocked by recorder, and I was still looking for items. So I didn't mean to bail on 8. I just thought it was ladder blocked. And if I had realized that earlier, I would have completed this much faster. Because I did 5 and 6 afterwards, and I didn't need to.
Yeah, I mean,
So
your
that's
seed
pretty crazy.
your seed started at 20 minutes. So I mean, really, you did the bulk of this in 40. I mean, you flew, man. Like it was.
I had so much overworld exploration though. So
Yeah, that's true. You did a lot of that for sure. But yeah, it was the combat was on point. I mean, the routing and stuff like that outside of the 8 thing, but it was all really good, and we enjoyed it. We enjoyed calling it.
That's good. That's good.
Definitely a lot of fun. So you move on to face BT in the next round. Thoughts on that?
So I am so far 4 for 4 predicting myself in this tournament. I predicted myself to lose to Fred. Then I predicted myself to win 3 straight in the losers bracket, and now I have predicted myself to lose to BT. So let's see if we can keep it 4 for 5.
I was like, don't keep that trend going, man.
Yeah, I don't know. BT
It is
really
definitely
good.
going to be a great matchup.
BT is just one of the best Zelda 1 players in general out there, and his randomizer theory is pretty good, but not the best, and that's probably the only way I could beat him is just by better routing and just getting lucky a little bit. I'd say I still have a pretty good chance, but I would definitely say BT's the favorite. 60-40, 65-35, somewhere around there.
I don't know. I mean, any race I enter with you, like I I'm shaking because I mean your skill is really, really solid in the rando, and it's
thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
I've gotten pretty good at this game, I suppose. I really wish I could do screen scrolling faster, but that's about it.
Yeah, with this flag set, definitely anyone can beat anyone in any given day. It's such a great equalizer with only needing those 5 Triforces, and as we move on, the random Triforces.
Oh boy, I'm almost sort of hoping to lose to BT. I mean, I don't want to complain about the flags too much, but man, the random Triforce, I have no idea what to do with that. Like, the strategy-wise, I haven't practiced those flags yet. I'm going to be so unprepared if I get there. I'm just not going to know what to do. I don't know second quest levels at all, man. Like, oh man, there's so much stuff I've got to learn. I don't want to do this.
Well,
I want to BT learn it all.
Like I said, you do have to get through BT to get to that stage, but
yeah, that's not a given.
Yeah, regardless, it will be a good match, a lot of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
Slidick is adventuring here in 9. I don't know that we saw this route.
No, I went through this vertical chute here. There's nothing up there.
Yeah, everything, if you're just joining us, everything's tucked over on the right side of 9, so it's going to take a little bit of routing to get back there, maybe a death or something like that. Maybe a stair, but there's really nothing up in this northwest portion that Slidick's going to find.
And how did you like Zelda being just, one room down, basically?
All right, so Slidick is going to give us the tour of 9 here. For Slidick's tournament, I mean, we're going to talk to him in a little bit, hopefully, but Slidick knocked off some very, very good people in this, had a very good showing, so unfortunately we're going to lose him. This is the in the bonus bracket, so this is Slidick's last race, so hopefully we get a chance to talk to him before he takes off.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say sorry. I had push to talk on. I forgot that I had that on. Zelda in the right side. So I was going up through the eastern corridor, and I noticed that none of the rooms to the east could be open. So I was like, well, Zelda could be over there. That's a really important thing to keep in mind, kind of when you're looking for Zelda. Is if you've seen rooms that are blocked off that don't have doors to them, there's a higher likelihood that Zelda could be over there. So it's like, okay, I guess I'll check this before I go up into the north part. And then she's just there. So it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, that's definitely very heads up.
Giving Slidick the business here, and I see you've taken your revenge on Slidick. Was this a Swiss match revenge here, or I don't remember yours?
Yeah, we were 3-1 in the final round of Swiss, so both of us were going to go on, but I wanted to get 4-1 just because, and I lost, and I felt bad about that. So
I mean, if you had to win one of them, this is the one.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, honestly, the seeding kind of doesn't matter anyway. So yeah, it's whatever. It just gives you a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, I guess. I was really afraid of Slidick, though. He's a really good player.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we knew this matchup was going to be an A+ matchup when we saw it. But talk a little bit about the flags. We're waiting for Slidick to finish up here. I mean, what have you liked about the 5 Triforce thing? What's kind of taken you by surprise? Do you route it differently than you route normal, or what?
Yeah, so 5 Triforces, I have mixed feelings about it. I'm kind of ready to move on just because. So what I really like about 5 Triforces is I love that you don't have to get every Triforce. That lets you kind of strategize around like, all right, which ones do I want to aim for? Like, which Triforces are going to be the easiest to get? Which ones can I maybe pass up? You know, do I not want to explore 6 or 7 right away? I love that part of the game. That's a really interesting sort of thing to kind of wrap your brain around. What I don't like about Pentaforce, unfortunately, is that it's so, like, you have to go into 9 maybe with a third of the items found and just hope that the bow is in the place that you decide to look first. And that 8 Triforces mitigates that factor a little bit because you have to explore every dungeon anyway. So you're going to find most of the items on your way there. And that I think that just reduces the swinginess a little bit. There's definitely a frustration factor for me for trying to guess which dungeon I need to explore after everything is said and done, or even if I need to find more dungeons in the overworld, which sometimes happens. That's really stressful, and it's just stresses me out. So Pentaforce is kind of interesting from both of those angles. I do really like the strategy of figuring out which Triforces to get, though. That's really entertaining.
Yeah, I think a lot of people echo those sentiments, and that there's a lot of, like you said, the swinginess factor of it. It's good for the people to watch. It's good for the fans.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But when you're running it, man, your palms are sweating when you're going into
drama,
a level.
There's so much drama when it comes to like, oh geez, which dungeon? And you know, there's always a lot of guesswork in Zelda 1, so you can't get too like about it. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we've seen some stressful 9s. People running in 9, green tunic, 6 hearts, wood sword, just going.
And it's just a hope and a prayer sometimes that like, I hope silvers are in here. They might or might not be. But if I don't go into 9 now, then I'm probably gonna lose. It's just like, ugh.
Now I will have to say the admins have come up with yet another outstanding. You know, every tournament has its detractors and its critics, but another outstanding tournament to watch and put on. So great job to Crimson Avix and the admin team for this.
Oh yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
And I do believe Slidick has found Ganon. He bombs in. Oh no,
It's
not his room yet.
I showed off my hearing Ganon through Patra skills there. I heard that there's a little click that when the Patra's voice starts up, and if you hear it, then that means Ganon's voice got covered up. And I heard it, so I went back and bombed at the right and found him.
I still can't hear that click. I've tried. Yeah. I can't hear it.
Yeah, I don't know if like different emulators or whatever might do it differently, and it's just hard to hear, or if it's just a thing where you just, if you don't get it, you don't get it until you do. I don't know. But I definitely heard it this time. I was like, that's Ganon, and I went back and I looked for him.
Slidick's got red ring, wood sword, so again, 11 to 14 and hits. Having a little bit of trouble tracking him down here.
Yeah, Ganon's offset a little bit to the right, so he's going to be kind of a little bit different.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, I had sort of a problem. I think that was partly just me mistiming the stun lock a lot, honestly, but it still seemed kind of weird.
He lost the stun lock there.
Yeah, he's just a beat late on it, and that's why Ganon's getting out from under him right now.
Yeah, when nerves get you, it's hard sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I've studied this fight like crazy, and I've lost it. Like the past week, I've been fighting Ganon, and I've just been late on it every time, and I just have to get it back. I don't know.
So with that, I would imagine he'll check the room down here pretty quick, because there's that always Zelda behind Ganon is a fun thing, and he sees the door open here. So we'll have Slidick coming in here with a SRL time of 1 hour, 19 minutes, 41 seconds.
Yeah, chat, get your GGs out. Slidick put up a pretty good time on this seed. This is a trolly one. I mean, this was one that we saw both runners bounce out of 8-0, and you needed to be an 8 and get both that recorder, or at least the recorder out of it to get to 9. So trolly seed, good time, good showing in the tournament by Slidick. So give him some GGs.
Definitely. We'll get him in here to chat in just a moment.
All right, I think he is joining us right now. I got to get him unmuted and all that, push to talk, all that stuff. But Slidick, sir, GG's.
GG's.
Yeah, GG.
All right, working out some kinks a little bit, but man, what a race that we just saw, Nora. This is fantastic.
Oh, definitely. This whole tournament, there has not been many bad pairings, even throughout the Swiss. Go watch the VODs, go watch the YouTube videos, and keep watching the tournament.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, we got some tomorrow night. We've got a whole lot of, there's probably, I think somebody said there's at least 15, 16 races ahead of us, and we got some best of threes coming up here soon. So this is going to be it's going to be a very fun one going forward.
While we wait, Slidick, do we have you?
Hi.
GG.
Thanks, I guess.
So
yeah, GG. It's a rough one.
Yeah. So the big question here: what happened in 8 with the staircase?
Forgot about it. I just thought I was ladder blocked.
Yeah, we actually both forgot about that and did basically the same thing, and I just realized it earlier, I guess, and I went back there.
Yeah, it was weird, Slidick. We were watching, and you guys were both pretty much neck and neck through 4 and 5 Triforces. But that level 8, both of you bounced from thinking you were ladder blocked, and there was that one stair, that spiral staircase that neither one of you took at the time to either check for item or to check to see if it was going to take you somewhere. So it was just kind of a surprising thing to us, and it was just kind of the first one that went back that was going to take the race.
Yeah, I think that about sums it up.
Yeah, so let's just not focus on this one. Let's focus on the whole tourney. I mean, you had a really good tournament. How do you think you did overall? Not just in this one, but in the whole thing.
I played pretty well, I think. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
It's good. You're fun to watch. I mean, a very good runner, and it's unfortunate something like this is what took you out, because we've seen you have some very fantastic races, including this one. So you're a pleasure to watch.
Thank you.
Did you like the 5 Triforce aspect of it, or are you usually more of like an 8 Triforce guy, or is it what about these flags and this flag set? Did you dig?
Yeah, I enjoyed it being different. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. 5 Triforces definitely adds a new layer of thinking to it.
I guess the only other question we have is that you guys are now 1-1. You took him out in the Swiss, and he's going to get you here in the brackets. So when are we going to get that third match from you guys?
I don't know. Maybe next year.
Probably next tournament when we get matched up again, inevitably.
Like every round, right?
Just like I got Fred every year, you know.
Well, Nora, you got anything else for us?
No, I don't have any further questions. So I guess we'll start the wrap-up process. Paratroopa, any final thoughts, comments on you before you head off to start practicing for BT?
I think so. I think I've pretty much talked myself out here.
All right. Slidick, any final thoughts or comments on you as you ride off into the sunset and yet another outstanding showing in the tournament?
No, it's been fun. Thanks, everybody involved.
All right, Redbird, you got anything left before we kind of wrap up the upcoming schedule and a couple other housekeeping parts?
No, I'm good. Just wanted to say again, thanks to the runners and Speed Gaming and everybody that behind the scenes that worked on this one. Much appreciated. This is a fun one. We knew from the top of the show, guys, everybody's still with us, that we were going to see 2 really good runners, very similar skill sets and traits and styles, and we thought it was going to come down to the wire, and that's what happened. The coming down to the wire was in level 8, not in level 9 this time, but it did. It was a very fun race to watch, so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed working with you, Nora.
Definitely. And along those lines, give our runners a follow. Slidick and Paratroopa, they both put on an outstanding show. Give Redbird a follow. He does great streaming. If you love 80s and 90s music, you'll get a kick out of his stream. Along with, we want to shout out to Tails MK4 for helping us behind the scenes tracking, along with the whole Speed Gaming crew. So a little bit of housekeeping. Like I said earlier, tomorrow we have Random Effect versus Antlers in another elimination match at 11 p.m. That is channel to be determined. It will either be on Speed Gaming or Random Mania. Then on Saturday we have Saver versus Chest Jerk in what should be an epic brawl to the end. That will be also at 10 p.m. channel to be determined. And then coming up on the October 25th, I have to actually pull a calendar up to see what day that is, but we have someone in the booth here, Jay Coper and some Redbird grad in a not an elimination match, but a actual upper bracket match.
Come watch me get stomped. It's gonna be great.
Oh, it's gonna be a great match. I'm looking forward to that.
So that's a week from today, and that's going to be at 11:30.
Yeah, hold on. I got to take some time here. Jay Coper tells me his Milwaukee Brewers are way more important than me and his race, so I've got to wait for this entire World Series thing before I can race him. So he's trying to ice me, and I don't like it. Jay Coper, I'm calling you out. Love you, bro.
But along with that, like I said earlier, join the Discord. There will be more matches, obviously. Paratrooper and BT will need to schedule their match. Fred will need to schedule his match with his next opponent. So with that, on behalf of our runners, Paratrooper and Slidick, on behalf of my commentator partner, Redbird Grad, and our tracker, Tails, my name's Norastra, and thank you for joining us.
Good night, everybody.